We've studied the brain, the senses, and consciousness. Now we ask how experience changes that machinery, how a creature is reshaped by what happens to it. That's learning. To a psychologist, learning has a precise meaning, a relatively lasting change in behavior or knowledge that results from experience, not the temporary effects of fatigue or drugs, and not the unfolding of instinct. A durable change produced by what you've lived through. And the most fundamental kind of learning is learning by association, noticing that two things go together. The classic demonstration came by accident in the lab of a Russian physiologist named Ivan Pavlov. Pavlov was studying digestion in dogs, measuring how much they salivated to food, but he noticed something curious. The dogs began salivating before the food arrived at the sound of the approaching assistant, the rattle of the cart. They had learned to associate a signal with the meal. Pavlov realized he'd stumbled onto something profound, and he mapped it with beautiful precision. It works like this. Food naturally makes a dog salivate, no learning required. So food is the unconditioned stimulus, and the salivation it triggers is the unconditioned response. Unconditioned just means unlearned, automatic. Now Pavlov rang a bell just before presenting food over and over. At first the bell meant nothing, but after enough pairings, the bell alone made the dog salivate. The bell had become a conditioned stimulus, and the salivation it now triggered was a conditioned response, a response that had to be learned through association. That's classical conditioning. A neutral signal paired repeatedly with something meaningful comes to trigger a response on its own, and it's everywhere in your life. The smell of a dentist's office that makes you tense, a song that floods you with feeling because of who you heard it with, the sound of your phone that quickens your pulse. None of those reactions were built in. They were conditioned exactly as Pavlov's bell was. Two more pieces of the system. Extinction happens when the conditioned stimulus appears again and again, without the unconditioned one. Ring the bell without ever bringing food, and the salivation gradually fades. And generalization means the response spreads to similar stimuli. Pavlov's dog salivated to tones near the original pitch too. This simple machinery of association turns out to explain some of our most powerful and least rational reactions, including our fears. And that's exactly where we go next.